So when you are ready, if you have the playlist like on your phone, you can just have it next to you so you can like adjust the volume. If it's not on your phone, just play it now. You can press play on the playlist now. And we're gonna come and lie on our backs. If you lie on your back in a starfish shape, a starfish shape. So take the legs wide and the arms above you and wide. And if that's not comfy on the shoulders for whatever reason, just take them out to the side and wide. But you're creating a starfish shape. And you're just going to have this element of trust. Just follow my voice, close your eyes. Today is going to be a really slow practice. So for about half of it, we're going to flow slowly. And I give yourself permission to move slowly. I did this practice like a few hours ago, and I was like, oh, there's always this temptation to move from transitions quite quickly, but just move slowly. And then notice how that affects the nervous system. And then the other half of the practice, we're going to be doing a restorative practice, a more just only a few poses, but holding them for longer and really dropping into stillness. Hey, Jenny. So just when you're ready, just join us on your back. We're starting in a starfish shape. Eyes are closed. And just start to find stillness now. You can press play on the playlist if you haven't done so yet. And begin to attune to your breath. And as you inhale, just have a sense that your breath is moving from center, excuse me, out to the edges of the body. So as you inhale, the breath is moving from center out to the edges of the body. And as you exhale, the breath is moving from the edges of the body back to center. So, sorry, I know people have done this. I'm just going to say this. That Sophie has her camera off because of her internet. If your internet's okay, I do appreciate cameras on. Otherwise, I just feel like I'm teaching avoid. But I don't need to see you, and just know that no one's watching. And yeah, and if there's a reason, feel free to pop it in the chat. Okay, so as you inhale, coming back to the breath, bringing your awareness to the body and finding the center of your body with your awareness. And breath travels from center out to the edges of the body. And as you exhale, breath travels from the periphery back to center. So begin to tune into this flow of breath, just starting to bring awareness to your center point within yourself. And breath traveling from your center out to the edges of the body. And then as you exhale from the edges of the body back to center, tune into this subtle flow of breath, breathing in and out of the nose. Holding the whole body in your awareness, simultaneously holding the whole body in your awareness. And these are the first two layers of self, Annamaya Kosha and Pranamaya Kosha. So noticing physical body and noticing breath. And give yourself permission to let go, however that lands. Like, give every single cell of your body permission to surrender right now. And know that you are being held here by the ground and by this practice. So with that inner knowing, allow yourself to completely let go in this moment. Every single cell of your body is releasing as you begin to tune into this breath and tune into my voice. And as you begin to land here in this moment. And have a sense that the dust is settling, like the dust from the weekend is settling. And as you lie here, sense into your right to be here in this moment, your right to take up space, your right to be here, your right to be heard. And this is really all part of being grounded. When we're very grounded, we have this sense of this right to be here. This is very much root chakra, this right to take up space, not afraid to use our voice, not afraid to take up space. And this can be in a very soft way. So as you lie here, sense into this in a really soft and subtle way, your right to be here. And on your neck, the top of your next inhale, so really take a lovely full inhale in through the nose and hold the breath at the top of the inhale. Soften the mind, the shoulders, the face. Open the mouth and go. And again, slow inhale through the nose. Come all the way to the top of the inhale. Hold the breath at the top. Soften here, soften in the holding. And then find that audible sigh. And again, a slow inhale, big inhale, full inhale. Slightly more effort to that inhale. Come all the way to the top of the inhale. Hold the breath at the top. And don't be afraid to make a noise, especially as we're all in our own private space, just to release the sigh out, let it go. And feel that, notice that as you release, there's that letting go. We're going to take it one last time. Inhale through the nose, holding at the top. Open the mouth and let it go, sigh out. Excellent. Great. And then just slowly, or firstly, just notice how you're feeling. And bending one knee, bring one foot to the ground. And then bend the other knee and bring the other foot to the ground. Again, the invitation is to move slowly. Just listen to my cues. So we're going to drop the knees over to the right. And you can turn the head to the left. Now, so the knees are over to the right. Now start to lift the left knee towards center. So the right knee stays down. Start to lift the left knee until the legs, keep lifting the left knee until that left leg goes as wide as it can. And then it pulls up the right leg. And then the left leg goes to the ground. And then the right leg slowly follows and goes all the way to the ground. Okay, so again, slowly, right leg lifts, move slow. Right leg is going to lift all the way to the right. And then at some point, as the right leg is dropping, the left leg follows. So you find that widest point. Okay, so the legs are to the right, the head is to the left. We're going to add the head. The left leg lifts all the way. The head slowly comes to center, and then the legs slowly drop to the left. The head drops to the right. So I'm going to let you find this pace. So you keep flowing now. The right leg lifts, but really drop into the slowness of this movement. You'll feel it's quite rhythmic as the legs carry each other from side to side. Keep flowing at a pace that feels good for you. Notice if there's a tendency to want to go too quickly. And I say that because there is for me, but it feels so good to invite this slow, mindful movement. Side to side, one leg pulling up the other leg, the head gently swaying. And if it doesn't feel good, the head can stay in center. And give your mind permission to be fully, or to really notice what it noticed, like be with this movement in sensation, in feeling, in physiology, in breath. Just side to side. We're going to just take a few more. And it's almost this sense when we move this way that we're like unwinding from the day. And whenever your legs next go over to the right, you can leave them there. Leave them over to the right-hand side. And then you can gaze towards the left. And option here, so option to bring the right, so just locate the right leg with your awareness. Locate the right leg with your awareness without moving it. And then option, you either just stay here, or option to place the right foot, the right heel, on top of that left knee or thigh. Just an option. And I can't see you, so just make sure you got the right leg, which was the one resting on the ground, on top of the left knee or thigh. And I don't mean to sound, what's the word? I can't think of the word, but to guide you so specifically, I just know in this pose, left and rights can go out the window. And then the head is to the left, and tune into the body, tune into your inner world, inner sensation, and the breath as it flows in and out of the body. And our body and our breath really are tools to really self-regulate, whether it's in the moment or whether it's day to day, just learning how to drop into or bring greater balance into the nervous system, learning how to dial up the parasympathetic nervous system, and learning how to build a relationship with the vagus nerve, which is what you're going to learn about this week. Every single cell of your body just releasing. You just resting in being, and notice the thoughts. They will come and go. We're going to release that right foot if you have the bind. Bring the legs back through center, and then slowly all the way over to the left side. Nice pace, great. Dropping the legs to the left, making sure the ankles have a slight gap between them. Turn the head to the right. Bring your awareness into that left leg. Just, that's all for now. Bring awareness into left leg. And notice how what we focus on, we amplify. Yeah, you bring awareness into left leg, and now that is what our attention is on. And then option to place that left foot on top of the right knee or the right thigh as the head turns to the right. And notice this side. Notice anything that is different or the same. Notice how it feels. And each time thoughts come into the mind, invite your attention, invite your awareness to be on your body and breath, and to be so curious as to how your body is in this moment, how you are in this moment. So curious about sensation. And I love this thought that there are 3 trillion things happening every second in our body. There is so much happening in our body. It's like, can you feel it? Okay, and then unhook the left foot. Just notice. Bring the knees back to center, one at a time, back to center. And then when you are ready, bring the knees into the chest, and you can wrap the arms around the legs, and the eyes are closed. And sometimes our eyes might unconsciously open, and if it's uncomfortable closed, of course it's fine, but often it's because the mind is going. So just notice. And there's no right or wrong or good or bad. It's just noticing ourselves, our tendencies, where our mind goes. Be curious and come back to body and breath, body and breath. And some place within you becomes this anchor within, this feeling of feeling grounded and centered is within you. And the more we can find that place and build a relationship with that place, the more we can come to it in our day-to-day, especially in times of need, but also just generally. I do it the whole time. Take the feet up to the ceiling just for a moment. You can option to bring the hands to the back of the legs if the hamstrings are a little on the tighter side. Or you can take the hands up to the ceiling. So both the feet and the arms are up to the ceiling. Nice. And the hands can be floppy and the feet can be relaxed, and option to just hang here, or if you feel called to make some movement in the wrists and the ankles, you can also find some circles or pointing and flexing of the feet. Okay, and we'll bring the feet back to the ground and the arms up above the head on the ground. Roll over to your left side. A little pause on the left side. Observe. Come to breath. What does it feel like to move slowly? And then we're going to just slowly come to all fours on the mat. And then just finding all fours. And we'll just have a little bit of free movement. So if you're not so sure, feel free, you can always copy me. Otherwise, when I say that, I mean it can be circling the hips or cat-cow or circling the spine. I tell you what, I'm going to just circle the hips here. So take some big circles with the hips, eyes closed. And then I'm going to move into some cat-cow, some rounding of the back. And then some arching of the back. rounding, just working the spine. Some of you might like to snake the spine a little bit more. And then turn the fingers towards you. So the fingers turn away from each other, and you can turn the fingertips towards the knees. If they don't go all the way, just turn them out to the side. It's quite intense, this. And we'll find some cat-cow here. You can always walk your knees closer to the hands, so really rounding the back, chin to chest, press into the top of the feet, and then drop the belly, arch the back. You can tuck the toes. And then rounding the back. Arching the back. Lovely. Okay, you can release the hands. Bring your bum all the way back to the heels. And then what we'll do is we'll come and cross the arms in front of you as you stand on the knees. So cross the arms in front, make a big giant circle. And then the butt goes back. Cross the arms in front, big giant circles. I'm actually going to tuck my toes. So you might tuck the toes, big circle, open through the chest, butt towards the heels, stretch those heels. Nice. Cross the arms in front, round the back. Stretch open the belly. As you find that circle, take one more of those, bum towards the heels, big giant circle, nice opening up through the chest. Awesome. Actually, take another one, just add another one of those. Big giant circle, lovely. And whenever you have done that, slide the hands forward and then take a downwards facing dog. Hips go up and back. Dropping the head. Have a moment to move through the backs of the legs. You can bend the one knee and then the other knee. Shake the head, flutter the lips. Walk your hands all the way to the feet so you have a rag doll at the back of your yoga mat. Feet are roughly hip distance. Drop the head, bend the knees as much as you need to. Hold opposite elbows. A little sway with the body, if that feels good. So, you know, whatever I say is, of course, always a suggestion. So your arms could dangle, your knees could bend lots. You could hold opposite elbows. Do what you enjoy. Nice. Yeah. Soften here, like soften into yourself, into this moment. Notice where the mind goes. Stay with the breath. Stay with the practice. And you're going to roll up. You're going to sway from side to side as you roll all the way up. Take your time. Sway from side to side. Stretch into the back body, in between those shoulder blades, the back of the neck. Whenever you get there, everyone's at different paces. That's great. You're going to lift the head and cross the arms in front of you like you're taking off a jumper. And then the arms open wide. And just take a moment to fold. We're going to do a few of these. Fold over the legs. Release the head. You can have maybe a little pulse in the legs if it feels good for you. Slightly bending the legs, slightly lengthening the legs. And then keep them a little bit bent as you sway from side to side as you roll up. Exploring the back chain of your body. Noticing any stickiness. Cross the arms in front of you. Arms go up and over, slight arching of the back. We're going to take one more like that. Take your time as you swan dive over the legs. Release the head. A little dangling here. You can interlace the hands behind the back of the head and draw the elbows towards the right knee. Slightly lengthen the right leg as you slightly bend the left knee. Don't just be mindful of the neck, but see if you can add a bit more of a stretch down the spine. And then the other side. Great. And then release the arms, bend the knees, rock from side to side as you roll all the way up. Whenever you get there, cross the arms in front. Big giant circle. And you're going to fold over the legs again. Releasing the head, great. Lovely. Walk the hands forward, come into your downwards facing dog. Excellent, everyone. Take the knees to the ground. Sorry, actually, just stay in down dog for a moment. You can bend the right knee and push the chest towards that left thigh. Just really, just getting into the backs of those legs. Yeah, and then just nice big breath here. And then switch sides, bend the other knee, push the chest to the right thigh, whichever one you are on. Great, everyone. And then lift both your heels high, stretch through the toes. Take the knees to the ground. Round your back. So round the back, bring the chest forward. Open up the legs, so point the toes back. Drop the hips. Just going to ripple all the way to the ground. All the way down, forehead down. Draw the shoulders from the ears. We're going to reverse it. Open it up. You can stretch through the belly. Some of you might linger here if it feels okay in the back. You could be lower. Draw the belly in slightly and then take the butt all the way back. Big toes to touch, knees wide for a child's pose. Forehead to the ground. Soften here. Attune to your breath. Child's pose is so grounding. I mean, it's obviously subjective, but generally it's a pretty grounding pose as you're close to the ground, folding in on yourself. We feel safe here. Come back to all fours. Option to move from all fours or to down dog. We're just going to step one foot, the right foot in between your hands. Take the left knee to the ground. Really bend into that right knee as you open through the chest. Do it to your own degree. If this feels a lot for you, you could also have your hands on blocks. You could also have your back knee a little bit closer, but just working a little bit deeper into the hips. Close the eyes, breathe into the hips and the pelvis, and also find a slight opening through the heart. Focus on the stretch, focus on the breath. Lovely. We're going to slide that left knee a little bit closer to you and take the right foot all the way back. Turn the left foot to the left and reach your right arm up. So it's kind of like a side plank, but with the left knee down, the right foot points away from you and reach that right arm up and over. Just take a big giant circle with this right arm. You can let the left ear drop towards the left shoulder. Reach those right fingertips away from you. Just hold here. The right fingertips and the right toes reach away from one another as you elongate through the right side body. Great. And let that right arm maybe even be floppy or rest at the back of the head. Find that stretch in that whole right side. Maybe some of you are pushing the hips more forward or leaning the chest back slightly as the right elbow moves away from the right hip. One more breath. Okay, right hand to the ground. Come back to all fours on the mat. Excellent. Just take a cat-cow, rounding the back chin to the chest. Tuck the toes, arch the back. If you took down dog, lift your hips up and back, down dog. If you're on all fours, just find a neutral spine. We take left foot between your hands, right knee down. Sinking the hips, lift the chest. So there's a slight engagement of the inner thighs. So I'm not totally sinking, like there's still a slight activation of the inner thighs. But don't be afraid to allow that knee to move beyond your ankle or your toes. So to deepen the stretch here and breathe into the hips and the pelvis. A little bit of an opening through the heart space. Close the eyes, stay with your breath. You can always back off. Awesome. Okay, slowly we're gonna back off and slide that right knee a little bit closer to you. Left foot goes to the back of the mat, right hand to the ground. Right foot to the right as you open it up to the left. Yes. Those left fingertips go forward. Find a big giant circle. Take one more, left fingertips forward and hold. Elongate through that whole left side. Imagine I'm pulling on your left hand and pulling on your left foot. That right ear floppy towards the right shoulder. The right ear or the whole head, really. And then the left arm, it could go floppy or to the back of the head. Feel the elbow, the left elbow and the hip point move away from each other, creating space in the body. Breathe now into the body. Use the breath. Like the breath really helps us find more space in the body, as does the movement, as do the shapes. And this is what we want to create in our life, a sense of spaciousness in the mind, within ourselves. And slowly release the left hand, the left knee to the ground. Come to tuck your toes again. And we're going to sit on the heels. Now, if you've not done this before, this is quite intense. You can just tuck those little toes under. Feel free to untuck if you need to, but see if you can stay with me. So as you inhale, the arms are going to go up, the hands up. As you exhale, purse the lips, blow, hands down. Elongate the breath. As you inhale, palms go up, slow inhale. Now ignore those toes. Palms go up, and as you exhale, purse the lips, blow the breath, elongate the breath, exhale. See if you can invite yourself to stay beyond the time that your mind initially tells you to go out. Inhale, hands go up, go with your breath, stay with it. See if you can challenge yourself to stay beyond the sensation, because your toes are going to be okay, unless you have an old injury there or something. See if you can just stay beyond the discomfort. For you, it's individual for each of us. See if you can stay there for you. Focus on the breath, particularly that exhale. Can you stay a little longer? Right, if you need to come out, come out. If you've not done this before, it is very intense. But actually, with a little bit of practice, it suddenly becomes easy quite quickly. Focus your awareness on the breath. Trust in yourself. Trust you can stay a little bit longer. Sit with the discomfort. This is a training to sit with the discomfort. The mind tells us to jump out. Okay, let's see if we can do one more breath. If you've come out already, no worries. You can bring the hands forward. You can untuck the toes. And just come and sit on the heels for a moment. If there's any stuff with the knees, sit on your bottom, turn the palms to face up. And just be. Rest in being. Notice Annamaya Kosha, your physical body, and within that is the sensation, your physiology, your nervous system. How does your inner world feel right in this moment? And the more attuned and accustomed we become to reading our body and the sensations in our body, the more emotionally, or the more in tune we become with our emotions, our feelings, and the more we're able to sit with difficult emotions. So opening the eyes, and if you grab your pillow, so I'm just going to use this blanket. So if you have your 1-bedroom pillow to begin with, and if you have it in front of you, like so, and we're gonna lie on top of it. So lie on top of it. So your hips, or hopefully, well, you'll probably, or just be, your hips might just be on the edge. And turn your head to face one way and your arms beside you, palms face up. If your pillow is very thin, you can use 2 pillows. Make sure you feel comfortable. So yeah, turn the head one way, palms to face up. And really allow the body to get heavy onto the ground here. Allow the body to get really heavy onto the ground. Eyes are closed. And completely surrender. And I will admit, I am a bit guilty at the moment of not prioritizing this kind of practice. And I'm going to do this session at some point. I'm going to gift myself this week. But the magic of this, and it doesn't have to be an hour, even if it's 15 minutes, is that in our day, the energy just builds up and builds up. This doing energy, it just builds up. It just builds up. And it's not all that it's negative or anything. You know, sometimes we had friends here all weekend and it was eventful and fun, but it was tiring as well, you know? And if we don't make these times for ourselves to rest, other than just sleeping at night, it just layers on. The energy just layers on and layers on and layers on. And then we wonder why we might feel anxious or stressed or overwhelmed, or we snap or we react. Because our nervous systems are just a little bit frazzled. And this kind of practice, this slow movement or this holding, allows the dust to settle. Then it connects our mind, our body, our breath, and it drops us more into this subtle practice, which is one of connecting more to our heart. And as you lie here, just tune into you in this moment. And if it's not comfortable for whatever reason, feel free to take child's pose. I would rather you be comfortable. If you're on your tummy still, just turn your head the other way. And let your body be completely supported here. Your body is completely supported here. Every single cell can release. No energy is required of it. Your mind can be free too. Nothing is required of it other than to rest in being, to listen to the music, to rest in awareness itself. And awareness sits within us and all around us, it's everywhere. Can you have a sense that you are just bathing in awareness? I notice when we're not doing, when we're not thinking, what is it that is there? Feel into it. This is the place we want to build a relationship with within us, because with that awareness within us is a place, there's no judgment, there's no harsh thoughts. It's only a loving feeling, unconditional love. We just cloud that place with our thinking and our doing. Okay, so you're simply just going to roll onto your back. There's no rush. Is that Emily? I might just invite you to turn off your lights if it's possible. If you're not gonna, doesn't matter if you're in pitch black. Um, but yeah, and make sure you all feel warm enough now. So maybe your socks are on, maybe your blanket is over you. We're gonna do some other stuff, but we're gonna lie on the back for the moment. And find that starfish shape again. So the pillow is underneath you. And the head, if the head, make sure the head might be, it might feel like a tight, like your head might be on the ground and the pillow stops with your shoulders. So it's like a slight elevation of the chest. And if it doesn't feel good, you can always put the pillow under your head. And if you feel like you want more, you can stack two pillows. Now, my pillows are very puffy. So I did this the other day and I found two was a bit much at the moment because I have a shoulder thing, but two could feel really good for you. But if one feels good, then that's also great. So I'll just give you just the next sort of 30 seconds or so to set yourself up with blankets, pillows, maybe an eye pillow, maybe some socks. And just trust that I'm here. If I go quiet, just stay in it. The worst that can happen is that you're here for a longer period of time than you should be. But my internet's looking good tonight. So just surrender to this pose. Trust that I'm here. There'll be pockets of silence, but I'm not leaving you. Tuning into the music, the feeling of the body, and the sound of my voice all simultaneously. Maybe any smells, if you have a candle burning and it has a nice smell. And tune into the heart. The heart is slightly open here. And sense into your body expanding out from center. Sense into you being grounded and centered, alongside being connected to your heart and in this moment. Allowing the mind to be free. And if it goes into a sleepy kind of place, allow it to. If it goes into thinking, just bring it back to the music, to sensation, to the sound of my voice, to anchor you into this moment. Every single cell of your body just being held by the ground, being held by this moment. And feels safe to release, is safe to release. And as you do practices that restore your energy, that communicate to the parasympathetic nervous system, side of the nervous system, there's this sense of being replenished, being nourished, and the inner light, your inner light just shining a little brighter. And you may even visualize a slight glow underneath your skin. Your body just glowing, emanating out this energy of calm, of feeling centered and connected to this moment. Can you sense into your energy body? Can you sense into the space that you take up beyond your physical body? You sense into your auric field. And this is part of your pranamaya kosha, this second layer of self. As we work on the layers of ourselves, we are literally working on our energy. And this practice really connects us to that place within that is always there, that calm within that is always there. It never goes away. And not just that, it is the tone of it. Can you notice the tone of this place? The tone of awareness, this tone of the inner calm. What is the tone of presence for you, of awareness for you? Surrendering into the sensation of the body, noticing the tingling, the feeling of your body in this moment. And whatever is there, invite more of it. Invite yourself to drop into that place even more. So option to just stay here. If this feels really comfortable, just stay here. If you feel like you just want to get a little bit more comfortable, you can slowly, in as little effort as possible, bring the pillow, one pillow under your head and one pillow under the knees, if you wish. We're going to have another few minutes here, wherever you are. Bring your attention to the whole body and just notice your body. Notice the ground beneath you and the space that surrounds you. And notice your body within that space. And the energy that you take up, or the space that you take up with your physical body and your energy body. And you can find a little bit of movement in the fingers and the toes. Rock the head from side to side, just slowly. Or, you don't even have to. There's just maybe you invite the movement. Maybe you just stay in stillness a little longer. Maybe you bend one knee and bring one foot to the ground. Maybe you bend the other knee and bring the other foot to the ground. The arms might reach up and overhead. Wherever you are, come to lie on your left side. Just find a moment here. Make yourself feel comfortable lying on your left side, adjusting the arms and the legs, and take a breath. Come into self. And slowly come to seated on the mat. Bring your left hand to the heart and the right hand to the belly whenever you're there. Just connecting to body and breath and your heart. Connecting to that really subtle inner and outer smile. And just be fully in this moment, present and anchored in your body in this moment. And then bring the palms to touch heart center. We bow our head to our heart. Thank you for joining me, everyone. And yes, as you open the eyes and as I close this recording, so I'm just going to let you all sort of be in the feeling. You might grab your pen and paper and just maybe it's anything I said or any feelings in the body or anything, wisdom that wants to come through, you allow it to.